I've got to give it to Cooler. My prediction would be 2-0 to Cooler. I'm hoping that Vengeur can give a strong game, and it would be really impressive for me to see Vengeur taking a map. Because subjecting yourself to a competitive game versus someone the level of Cooler, no matter what shape he's in, it's going to be strenuous. It's going to be strenuous on the mind to get yourself through the other end safely.
Okay, so we are seeing the BJ get selected on Crippled Keep. I always get happy seeing BJ. There's just something about this champion. I think it's because we didn't see him picked for a long time, and now obviously the second they kind of took BJ. Clutch out of the meta, shouts that. Now it's a mirror match situation. But on the subject of what you were just talking about, there's always that saying that there reaches a certain point in competitive gamings where your idols become your rivals. And I really think that is actually apparent in Quake Champions in particular, where we have these players that had spent so long looking up to these legends. And very, very quickly, we're starting to see the climb of these players that they've been, that's what you said, right? The grind is so real.
Well, before going any further, guys, we're starting the game right now. It's a round of 16 match between AMD's Cooler and Comrade Gaming's Vengeur. I am on Cooler to start with. We're going visor right now. See if Vengeur can approach this, what can be a mental block for some up-and-coming players. Approach it with force.
Well, one thing at the very beginning of the round is the fact they've both popped their piercing sights, so I think the knowledge is going to be Vengeur understanding that Cooler used this significantly earlier. That's like a good 4-second mark. I'm wondering if he's going to always use that. Yeah, he's taking the heavy at the very least, trading it back and forth. Mega for heavy, of course.
What I'd normally expect from a player like Cooler is a slow game. He's going to listen to those sounds. He's going to pay attention and try to catch the opponent off guard. And what's more typical of Vengeur is that he's far more aggressive. He likes to force the fights a lot, but that's exactly what Cooler can punish. So let's see if Vengeur is going to be careful, or if he's going to go back to his kind of a natural, I don't know, natural levels of play.
Well, a wise man once said, you have to know when to be aggressive.
Precisely. And Cooler's just happy chilling right now.
Ooh. Yeah, threw Vengeur off his movement. That catch on the rocket didn't let him go up towards the health bubbles up top, so it's actually going to waste a little bit of time. Force him in that difficult situation where using the teleporter, obviously, not at risk. He's just making a lot of noise and telling Cooler where he is.
Ooh. Nice rockets. Vengeur does get something in return. He's going to go with the lightning gun. Cooler seems to get surprised a bit by that, but he's got the mega to back up on, so Vengeur can't overcommit. He finds health bubbles, and he should be able to get the hourglasses around the corner, and they're still, like, the timings on their piercing sight is still basically matching.
That's always a great situation where if you're going to get caught out, at least you get caught out near one of the major pickups. So, you can almost completely recover that damage. I love the defensive play from Cooler to just back off and collect. Has forced Vengeur into a difficult spot, but those defensive rockets, unfortunately for him, no health bubbles nearby. But now it's been traded. Obviously, now he's got the mega, able to undo some of that damage. Ooh, good rocket.
One of the first times that Vengeur's been able to get the initial damage off, but the lightning gun from Cooler tries to look for some extra splash damage, but Vengeur is on the ragged edge right now in terms of survival. He's probably going to have to end up giving up this heavy armor. There it is. He's scampered away.
And the divide between the two pickups is so late that I think these two health bubbles, that's really all he's going to get. Cooler obviously trying to press the advantage towards Mega. Is he going to be able to fight for it? Yeah, he knows it's a safe pickup.
At the same time. Yeah, so Vengeur knew he could buy himself that mega health. They're still synchronized in terms of how they're picking up information. Vengeur, though, he's in no man's land. There's nothing he's going to be able to do here unless Cooler's missing out on these rockets. 50 health or less, and he's alive somehow.
I'm actually surprised Cooler didn't stay for that one.
Yeah, he could have got the kill then and probably made it over to heavy in time, but it would have been a risk dropping down into rockets. I don't think he was connecting enough to the rockets to feel as comfortable as he could otherwise have.
Yeah, very true. And Cooler, he's always been a player that's been content taking control over a frag if he needs to. Yeah. He's done such an amazing job throughout this entire round. Like, Cooler's been the one in the driver's seat here. I've been watching Vengeur the whole time. He spent a lot of this round playing around Cooler rather than it be the other way around. So unless that, drastically changes overnight, the second it comes down to being one frag, Cooler is by far the player that is more likely to win off that.
Well, Cooler's turned the control quite heavily in his favor. He got the mega and the heavy last rotation. He's going to get it this rotation as well. And I think that suffocation that Cooler can have with his control might start to be taking its place.
What's dangerous for Vengeur as well is that he's run out of ammo for his lightning gun. As long as Cooler maintains control of that Mega Rim, that's super important. That's why he's having to poke down here with the nail gun. He has nothing else.
Is he going to drop on this? Would be crazy. If he drops on it, missing sight comes out at the wrong time for Cooler, so he misses a chance for damage. Oh, the rocket almost sends Vengeur away, but he's still so weak.
He just hasn't got an LG to fight back here either, and I'm sure Cooler knows that by now. Understood that if he'd have swapped to an LG, he'd have done it by now.
He's just trying to find health. Oh my god, this is the first health bubbles he's picked up in ages. Cooler doesn't quite find him. Light armor isn't taken by Vengeur, and he's still scampering for help. I think he's just used piercing sight. Okay, initiation rocket, but he tries to get to heavy. No chance, sir.
I mean, Vengeur, I'm assuming his call to action is get LG, pop dual wield. Yeah. Why in any world would Cooler go with an effective range of that? He's just going to stay and defend.
The LG, if Vengeur can make this work somehow, Cooler's not really hit enough rockets, but time is going to be on his side.
That's an unfortunate turn of events for Vengeur. Actually in a situation where I think theoretically he could have potentially got that frag. He just needs to make sure that he had like the highest accuracy he'd ever had.
Yeah, completely. But I think that's a very typical round from Cooler. I think Vengeur is trying to play a slower game, a more control-orientated one, and trying to exchange on the damage. But he was kind of like a little bit behind, and when the damage was being done, Cooler got most of the first shots off, and he ended up getting the last say in items that were getting taken as well.
Does manage to, amidst all of those misses, does manage to hit the money on a 100, but unfortunately Vengeur maybe overextended, but not at all. Does manage to secure that frag on Cooler. I was very worried actually seeing him push in there, particularly how things had gone, and oh god. See ya.
BJ's here. He's around. Dual wield is out. Kind of as a defensive mechanism on the mega health. Maybe popped it a little soon because he won't have that later, and Vengeur's got access. He's going to have nail gun, and nail gun is pretty scary with dual wield.
Yeah, Cooler having to run away. He's going to acknowledge now that Vengeur was able to collect the LG, which is a very, very frightening weapon. Oh, just to try and secure it. Can he finish the job? He has to watch out, actually. One direct, and he's in trouble. Yeah, Cooler. Taken out right there. That was actually a little bit scary for Vengeur. The second he ate that one rocket, I was like, oh, if he gets hit by a direct, then maybe.
Alright, he managed to get such an awesome initiation rockets onto Cooler that it was worth the risk, no matter what would have happened. And Vengeur's got some really, really strong rockets, so whoever you are, you've got to pay close attention to that. Oh, the lightning gun catches him off, but that rocket's not going to do anything. And
Vengeur ran out of LG right at the worst possible time where he could have got that increased damage from that jump, but didn't have the ammo to get the job done. Only just been able to collect 5 rockets too. Oh man, dual wield maybe. I'm wondering if the dual wield was used just to maybe try and scare Cooler away.
Oh my god. Wow. Okay.
You were saying about rockets.
There gets the direct lightning gun to follow up. Vengeur's bitten right back in a far faster round. Even though did he lose out the first? No, he got the first kill with the lightning gun and nail gun, I believe.
Yeah, he'd got the first kill, but then immediately after Cooler had spawned with BJ, he just got one good rocket.
Oh, we're back to visors. And that's piercing sight for Vengeur. I suspect the same as much for Cooler. Yep, pretty much the same second they used it. Just gonna find another light armor just to top up that natural stat.
Spent a lot of this round watching Vengeur. I think we'll check out some Cooler.
Yeah, I'm on Vengeur at the moment as he picked up the last round. That's an okay rocket, and he's going to be able to get himself onto the heavy, which is nice. Even rocket jumps through. Thought he was going to commit to the lightning gun, which would have been a pretty mental move to make, but not necessarily a bad one.
Vengeur is playing. I know you said he's known to be a really aggressive player. There is actually like elements of quite a lot of respect being established too, where he's going in if he's like 100% confident, but none of his plays are showing a sign of like overconfidence. You know, overconfidence can sometimes be almost like, I don't want to use the word disrespectful, but knowing you're up against the likes of Cooler, you've got to calculate every single decision you make, and jumping back down! Wait, is this going to go in his favor?
Oh my god, he's on 1 health! Oh, he can't quite get there. If he goes for the health double, he's in trouble. I mean, the health bubble in the nail gun room. That was ridiculous. To go back in that room was suicidal. Like, no one would expect anyone to do that.
Yeah, I did not expect Vengeur to double back either. Oh my word, 100 damage, and he's stuck. Surely this has to be it. Oh, he almost traded.
Did he get the rocket afterwards? I didn't hear the dunk after he died.
Yeah, he got it. He put Cooler on 23 HP.
Wow. Well, I'm checking out Cooler now. He's waiting for a health bubble to spawn. Vengeur not able to catch sight of that. Very, very close to Cooler there, sitting on 1 health beforehand. But now he's made a bit of a recovery. And he's sneaking around the map, getting himself the health bubbles pretty safely. He doesn't go for the second one there because he just doesn't want to spend any time in that dangerous position. Feels like 123 is good for him.
Oh. Excellent rocket.
Hello. There comes the BJ. Oh, he puts him down to 27. Mega is there for Cooler. Entry rocket did all the work for Cooler then.
And even then, like, it's not even like Vengeur was, I believe he wasn't missing a lot of the LG either. Cooler was taking health down rapidly. It was just that first rocket was so well placed. And the rocket gave him the momentum to fly through teleporter. And that's why Vengeur went in for the dual wield. Yeah. Acknowledging that if I'm going to fly here guaranteed, I've got to make something happen here. But these rockets, from both these guys, these rockets have been super good.
Yeah, catching him on that teleporter exit is going to delay this comeback, if it ever happens, just by a little bit. Again,
oh my god, again.
Huge rocket. And Vengeur's rushing around these corners a lot. You've got to realize when you're going up against a visor, you've got to be a bit more careful than that. But he spots where he is. Is he going to go for the drop? He tries mid-air from Cooler through the teleporter. He could have died then.
Cooler not shy at all of going for that rocket boost.
That was not.
There's the weapon switch.
There was a few pixels there from that becoming a teleport frag where Cooler dies.
If that, you know, Vengeur was super hoping that would happen as well, like just in case.
Well, that would have set him up very nicely to make a comeback. Oh, the nail gun hurting. Vengeur is under insane pressure. Heavy's going to be up in a second, but Cooler's actually not pressuring it directly. He's hoping for damage on the exit, and he doesn't get any at all. But this is Vengeur's in into this round. I think that Cooler should have been pressuring more directly onto that. Maybe he was getting used to the idea that Vengeur kept walking into his damage through the teleporter, and it was going to happen again.
And we have seen shades of that actually from the very first round. Oh, but the defensive rockets, 100 again! Oh, here's the rocket jump.
Rockets from Vengeur. These are absolutely extraordinary rockets. LG comes out and Vengeur chases it down. That's next level rockets. I do not know how you hit that stuff.
And even then, like, they both hit crazy rockets. Like, when Cooler was getting chased down, he was still able to secure himself a 100 defensive rocket before he even had the chance to. And now he's in a terrible situation. How has this turnaround even happened? You think you've got control for 4.5 minutes, and then before you know it, Vengeur's winning.
Oh, the totem's just a little bit late. It's going to get destroyed. Vengeur's not got much time. He's going to go for heavy. He's got LG ammo. And then, is it go, 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 go? All right, that's it. Mission time. Rocket jump through. He should have an idea where he is. He sees him. Oh, this is a little bit of a delay because of the crouching, but he hits an air rocket at the same time.
They're both so weak. Cooler goes in for a rocket jump. A defensive totem's going to heal him up. Now he's on near full health. Now he has full health. That was perfectly played by Cooler at the very end. That one rocket jump to go. Even if this rocket jump nearly kills me, I'm so confident there's health nearby that if I get this, he can't chase me in time. I
felt like at that, like Vengeur went for the mega health. If there was an extra 5 or 10 seconds, that was probably the right move to make. But there was only 5 seconds to go. You had to take the risk right at the end. It was almost definitely not going to work for him, but it was the only chance he would have had.
By the way, looking at Cooler, it looks a lot more like he's hit more 100 rockets than any other type of rocket this map.
that's all he hits.
He's been hit. Whenever he's hitting a rocket, it's like it's a significant amount of damage.
Vengeur's been getting these sudden bursts as well, which have also caught Cooler off quite a lot. Might catch him off now. He should know where he is roughly. He's going to go for to get some more lightning gun ammo instead. He's got much better control of the hourglasses, if you notice from Vengeur. He's been taking, I think, all of the hourglasses on the map.
And in the visor mirror, that's only ever going to be an advantage. You know, faster cooldowns and it's identical cooldown, well, beneficial.
I'd love him to go for the hourglasses as well, but he's going to need to use it in a second. Little double back through. Rocket! Oh, only hits 19 damage, but still not too bad. Those hourglasses are going to go. He should have heard it. He knows that the piercing sight's not going to be up still for a few moments. Cooler might end up controlling the hourglasses now, actually. Yeah, he's taken all 6. So it's completely changed in terms of ability control, if you can call it that.
And seeing as Vengeur is on such a significant... Oh, but the rocket! I was about to say, just because the cooldown was so significant, even before I can finish saying why the cooldown is important, one rocket and Cooler has to completely back off.
And that was the only way that Vengeur was going to win in that situation, because Cooler had him completely trapped. The 100 damage was the most necessary thing possible for Vengeur.
Not shy of slowing the pace down for another time while he gets a little bit of data. And there's that piercing sight. Knowing exactly what's going on. Minimal damage taken so far, but Vengeur still in a difficult spot. Okay, here's the rocket. Oh, the swift movement. Before Cooler can even react, Vengeur's already around the corner.
LG on LG. Cooler slightly ahead on this. Vengeur going to be chasing some HP bubbles. And Cooler moves in. This is such a dangerous spot. The commitment to the room from Cooler was way too much.
Absolutely. The thing is, Cooler, I feel like it was almost a 50-50 on what doorway he thought Vengeur was going to be standing there. Oh, goes in for the dual wield, but a bit too brave. Vengeur, patient and ready.
Well,
but,
it was just a piercing sight that won him that. He could get the LG damage the absolute same second he went into sight. So it just gave Cooler no hope at all, especially because he wasn't controlling any items either.
I wonder if the play from Cooler was, I don't care if you can see me coming, I've got 2 rockets.
Yeah. I think that's what he was hoping for. Vengeur's going to have to be a bit careful. Cooler's doing some good damage, but the LG is going to be enough. Vengeur is going to tie up the rounds in map 1. That is an emote that I've only ever seen ZSX use, and it's meant to be a... oh, what is it? It's like a truck where you're pushing... Like, not a snow... Yeah, it's a snowplow. It's like a plow. So I think he's simulating he got plowed just then.
So that's an emote for I just got wrecked.
I think, like, or it's meant to be like indicate wrecked of some sort. I'm pretty sure.
Followed up by an XD. Yeah. I don't actually think I'd see Cooler do an XD, to be honest with you. I don't know why.
Do them, yeah. He's getting in fun moods lately.
I wonder if it's a friend playing on Cooler's account.
I want to know who his friend is then, because he's pretty good.
He plays a lot like Cooler, but uses XDs instead. Anyway. The visor mirror at the beginning. Both popping their piercing sight at basically exactly the same time, so this will be very interesting. If one of them dies in this fight, obviously it'll be undone, but yeah, they both popped it, I think.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, they have.
Ooh, he still gets a little bit of... it's only 33 damage. There's going to be some health bubbles there for Cooler to recover on a bit. There it is. They're taken now. I think he fell off somehow.
I just realized if you spectate between 2 visors that are both using piercing sight, every time you spec, it goes boom.
Wow, he goes up for the LG even after that damage is done. Wow. Vengeur. And there's another item for him. You take damage, you expect someone to give you some respect. Wow, he just got a third onto Cooler.
He got a decent respawn in that he was close to the rocket launcher. I think is a weapon that BJ definitely won't say no to in this situation. But I feel like Cooler, he's putting so much faith now in his ability to get those 100 damage rockets that when it misses, he's a sitting duck. You know, similar to when you miss a rail in this kind of situation. He's really betting the farm on it, and it's just not working out anymore. It was doing wonders in the first couple of rounds, but now he's missing a couple of those shots, and even now he's out of rockets. So
switch machine gun there,
careful.
That would be a lot better for you. Yeah, Cooler's got to be careful. I think Vengeur might have been given a bit too much respect. He probably could have fought back onto Cooler lately, and he's going to have his dual wield back up again. And you've always got to be careful. That dual wield can just create situations where you can do unbelievable levels of damage. Good patience from Vengeur. Oh, the rocket there. Lightning gun. That's going to be enough. He takes down one more champion. Cooler's just got Yelena remaining.
This has got to be feeling good if you're Vengeur about this, because it really was a super dominant set of first rounds.
He can't push through teleport, and no matter what he decides to do, he might be feeling it at the moment and feel like, right, I can do anything. Just do not do the basic errors walking through a teleport that Yelena's guarding. That armor's not up for a few moments. His timing seems to be a little off, but he's done good damage, and it's going to be enough to secure the map. Vengeur takes the lead in the series.
That was an impressive turnaround, as to be said. I think we were both a little bit concerned at the beginning of that map, where we said, look, we know Vengeur. He's had a really amazing rampage as of recently in some community tournaments, particularly with Duel. You know, you mentioned Duel really is this guy's passion because he looks up to players like Cooler, you know. Yeah, but then how about taking a map off him? These guys had never played competitively before. And while that was a 3-2, the second the rounds actually started to go in Vengeur's favor, it was very, very dominant. So
I feel like we saw a lot of different sort of shades of play in that map as well. Like, it was so slow, you know, one champion each, sorry, 3 champions remaining for both players till the bitter end, and then we saw a lot more aggression. Like, it was mixed up a huge amount. I think Vengeur was showing Cooler that he has also quite a dynamic style, or can offer a dynamic style. I think his timing was a little bit off compared to Cooler. Cooler for me was a bit better on the control, but I think it's given Cooler something to think about moving into the next map.
That goes to show, particularly in Quake Champions, when you actually land, even if your control is better, even if your knowledge of, you know, even things like weapon switching. I actually recalled a moment where you were spectating Vengeur and I was watching Cooler, and you'd specifically mentioned, Vengeur should probably use your machine gun here, mate. And while I was watching Cooler, before you'd even pointed that out, Cooler had already swapped to his. Yeah. And was doing a lot of unreturned damage. There's little situations like that where it's Cooler being, you know, such an old school legend in Quake. His weapon knowledge is super optimized. He knows what to use at what time. Very rarely does Cooler have the wrong weapon for the job. But if you're Vengeur and you're hitting those rockets the way he is, I mean, you just can't turn your nose up at the damage, particularly on that map where direct rockets is the highest amount to do damage, especially if you're not playing like Strog or someone like that. You know, not having that instant 80 to 100 of the rail makes a huge difference, and especially if you're hitting those rocket damage as well.
Well, I'm curious what we're going to get from Cooler on Awoken, because this is the map that he picked. Vengeur picked Corrupted Keep, important win for him that he takes. So I'm curious what Cooler can offer in this one. Let's see if I can sort out the scores. Champion. I won't be surprised if we get... Actually, we'll get probably Galena and Visors. I'm not sure what we'll get at the end. Maybe a Doom from Vengeur. I don't know what we'll get from Cooler.
Well, we'll find out. He's thinking about it. Yeah, Galena. What's this final pick?
Ranger.
Yeah, Ranger.
Vengeur. What's he going to go?
Strog.
Interesting. I'm kind of really excited. Actually, to be honest, I've played Vengeur a bit on this map with his Strog, and it's a pain in the ass to deal with. I'm obviously not Cooler, but I just got like angered. I was like, how am I dealing with the Pika? I personally worked out that my best bets of countering the Pika, if I'm Ranger, I'll orbit. If I'm anything else, I'm going to have a shotgun ready for that Pika to come towards me, because it's a really useful counter in my opinion.
And I feel like, you know, Ranger versus Strog, that's going to be quite an interesting matchup, because if Strog's ability exists to force the ability out of Ranger, surely that's a win for Strog as well, because you're forcing that piece of utility away. Obviously, you know, the exception will be different cooldowns, but
just gets the one rail from his piercing sight. Not many weapons in Vengeur's hands. Remember, guys, this is elimination stage. Whoever wins this series goes through to the Sunday finals. Whoever loses is not going to make it there. You're looking for top 8.
All the pressure. All the pressure on Cooler right now.
Cooler loves the pressure, though.
Oh, yeah. I mean, if there are some players in the scene that have been here before, then he's absolutely one of those guys.
And I think it was Cooler that went first in his group, by the way. I think Vengeur came second to Zron. Maestro Zron now, we can call him.
That's going to take some getting used to, isn't it?
It is, right?
Also, Cooler with the Easter egg destruction into Swift Teabag. Shouts to you.
Excuse me? Oh, well, it's moving in right now. This is super early on the heavy for Vengeur, and that is a sign of, like, how timings aren't quite there, I think, for Vengeur. Cooler's incredibly meticulous about it, whereas Vengeur, he does it by feel a bit more. Nail gun, that's going to be working for.
Yep, and he's now going to have the knowledge that obviously Vengeur Pika is going to be down for a significant amount of time. And no, I'd mentioned I was observing him at the very beginning, and he kind of just stood there for about 3 seconds just to destroy an Easter egg, and then he teabagged a bit and then moved on.
Oh, great. Right, okay. Oh, nice. I like that. Is he going to teabag?
And deliberately jumped into that one. Dude, Cooler does not like these Easter eggs.
Or he loves them, I don't know. Don't assume things, Ketchup. You don't know.
Maybe.
Pika's back! Oh, the rail's on. Those rails are kind of
shot.
hard to land, actually, on Pika. This is very nice from Cooler. Probably unnecessary praise, but still.
Hey, a shot's a shot. Pika still player controlled.
Vengeur again early on it, but his dodge is a little bit better then, and he's going to be able to win himself the heavy armor. Cooler will get onto Mega. Stacks are similar-ish in the grand scheme of things. And ability,
right, there's that piercing sight again.
Yeah, I think Pika's ready as well.
The thing about Vengeur using Strog on this map is that he's going to get a lot of knowledge, right? If at any point he feels like it's a risk, and there we go. Oh, misses the shot.
Pika's not done too much yet.
I feel like Pika on this map will benefit defensive play quite substantially.
Oh, the rocket. First one was quite good, but armor will eventually be taken by Cooler.
Vengeur, not in a great situation, but Cooler not interested in overextending.
He doesn't even realize that he left. Yeah, Vengeur rocket jumped out of there. He was like, hell no, I'm not getting involved in this. Uh-oh. Oh, he could get trapped.
Yep. I was about to say, he knows he can surprise him because he heard it and it was nowhere to be seen. I love the awareness from Vengeur. Oh, no! Good shot.
Really, I was worried because Cooler's LG was looking a little bit wobbly. It's a hard angle to hit from high to low, but cleaned it up very nicely.
That was excellent awareness from both players. You know, excellent awareness from Cooler to basically use the audio to his advantage and realize that I can hear Pika, but I've not seen it, which means that Vengeur has to be vulnerable right now. And then Vengeur realizing if I was going to see Cooler around this area, I would have seen him by now. And then he made the choice, just instantly cut it. Kept him alive momentarily, but it wasn't enough to obviously win that 1v1.
You've got to be so careful, especially when that's a fairly open position still, even though it's not in like the sort of main control area of the map. You can easily get flanked from the other side. Good rocket there from Cooler. LG should be a formality for him to clean this one up. He's looking for a rail. And Vengeur, he rocket jumped to 1 HP.
My god, the rocket jump. That was actually sick, to be fair, because it got him. He knew piercing sight must have been an option.
Problem is, I punched the microphone. He's got 45 seconds left to go. He needs to do something right now, so it's the last call. I'm going to go over to Vengeur and see if he can do anything. He's going to have heavy up, but it's time to go. Yeah, you can see the urgency. He's in play. Okay, he hits one shot. Looking through the teleporter, but Cooler's hiding by heavy machine gun. He's not been seen, but now it is. Caught up with him.
Defensive rocket. Gets one more. Just needs one more. A little bit of LG to do it. Now the piercing sight's been popped. I don't think Vengeur can win this. There's no way, surely.
It's done now. I wouldn't be surprised if he jumped off the edge. There we go. Called it.
Not a bad call, to be fair. Not a bad call.
He knows there's no time, so he's gonna look forward to this round. Cooler though, looking good. Very, very nice start for him on Awoken, dealing with all the pressures of Strogs and Pikas, as you'd expect from Cooler. Actually, starting this one off very quickly, looking for the nail gun damage, and Vengeur, he's just gonna dissipate.
Even after that gauntlet, Cooler still had a really nice amount of stack to take the next one, I think. Oh, he just heard Pika. Yeah, that was Pika for sure. Still actually active. Still active. Is he gonna go? He cycled the whole map before almost getting it.
I think Pika was going slow for a while. He didn't go straight into like the quick cruise missile mode. There's definitely some scanning going on. Interesting. He went to Strog first instead. Oh, never mind. He died so quickly on Visor that I hadn't even registered that.
Yeah, it was during their crazy scramble at the beginning where it was Gauntlet versus nail gun. Oh my word, just caught. And when the fights are happening, Cooler is just straight up out fragging Vengeur too. He's just, he's more accurate. Oh, the shot on Pika.
Pika rails. Are we
I shouldn't be so hyped for those rails.
I am quite hyped about it. I'm like very excited when I see that. Because every time I try to rail the Pika, I just wildly miss.
Yeah.
So I can respect those shots. It's like nice target practice, you know. Imagine like a server where you just got like Pikas flying at you They can't quite kill you, but they're just zoning around at like their speed. That'd be
I think you should pitch it as a new mode, mate. Pitch it as a new mode.
Post on. Oh, Totem, this is it.
Yeah, Vengeur's going to be more than aware where Cooler is now. Oh, he almost traded that. If
there was one more rocket, maybe there was a chance. I don't know if Vengeur picked up that health bubble first or afterwards, because yeah, he wasn't.
I think at the split second, looking at his health on the split second, I do think a direct might have killed him.
Whoa!
Oh, that flick airborne.
Vengeur's actually chasing this one. He knows he's kind of weak. He's got a machine gun. Great chase, great chase there from Vengeur. And he's tied up the round completely. There's just Ranger left, which he's always going to have to be careful with. Wow, he's actually moved in. Vengeur's got to be very careful himself. At the totem, good positioning for it. Still, slight chase from Cooler.
I think if he understands that Cooler's going to take the heavy, then at least let's try and get a little bit of damage. As much as we can take to make sure he can't regain control.
I think he wants to go out now quite badly. Does he? Oh, he's even timing the light armors now. Getting his rotation on. He's not even paying attention. Rail? Come on, Vengeur, you need it. There we go.
Cooler has actually spent a lot of this round without rail as well.
I just saw him, yeah. Small delayed reaction from Vengeur, but caught whiff of where Cooler was at.
Oh,
he's landed
word.
so much damage. So much damage by Cooler.
Nice rail.
Nice angle.
Also, both getting the damage as well, but Vengeur showing Cooler that I'm confident of reading where you're going to be too.
Moved away from that angle for a second, just as Cooler started walking past it. And he gets caught out a lot over this area of the map. I don't think Vengeur can commit over here. There's no need to. He throws a totem down, actually. Oh, the orb into rail.
Brave stuff from Cooler, actually. Really brave going in for that rocket jump. Left himself vulnerable to a rail or so. Cooler manages to land one. Out of rockets. This could be important.
It's tense for Vengeur too. He knows he's the one more out of control than Cooler. And he doesn't want to put himself 2 rounds behind. Oh, there gets a direct. Another totem, but he's got no more rockets left. He might be able to get himself mega health though, which would still be a big deal.
Oh, caught in the middle of his jump.
That was a good denial, though. He needed that in order to get the mega health. If he made that jump across to him, Vengeur was a dead man. Oh, no, it's in the rocket ammo crate. Easy to forget what those crates are. Well, of course, these guys.
Seeing as a lot of people, if people have been scrimming Awoken, it's been mostly 2v2.
Yeah, I remember a lot of it based on that. I know that Vengeur enjoyed playing, you know, Awoken Art even when the sort of first PTS with it was out. He really does enjoy this one. LG on LG there. Vengeur actually did a great job. Can't get the rail to follow up, and he knew that mega health was going to be in the mix just then. Great 100 damage rail for him, however. It's close. It's going to get to full time pretty much, but it's the next frag that will decide it no matter what.
Absolutely. Sudden death territory. 5 seconds. It's going to be, well, the setting it's already at now, really. So. Sudden death. Ooh, good shot from Cooler.
Really nice shot. Hello, Cooler. Wasn't watching his 9. Oh, I thought Vengeur was about to go up there. If he went up there, he was going to go down. But he did see the orb getting used. So, I don't know. Making me think twice about what would have been the best to do.
Yeah, I feel like Vengeur 100% was going to go up that jump pad had he not seen the dire orb.
Can you just swap on? Orb's back. He's just seen it. Cooler's not going to go through with it. Vengeur spotted that one out. Eliminated the possible threat. And control still a bit more favorable on Cooler. However, there is still totems that can help out Vengeur. Second, if he destroys this totem, he's going to know exactly where he is. He gets pushed back a little bit.
Gets a 100. That's a fantastic start. Looking to get that rail. Oh, picks the angle, but just a little bit late when Vengeur puts himself into line of sight.
Was that from down in the water, or?
Yes, it was down in the water towards teleporter. He actually had him in his line of sight. He was just a little bit slow on the trigger finger.
Well, Cooler's been taking all the items for the last 2 or 3 rotations. Certainly making life difficult for Vengeur. This is an interesting little spot to camp. Is he going to spot him? If Cooler edges his head over a bit, Vengeur had eyes on him, but he's got information. He knows that Heavy's going to be up next. Oh, he misses the rail shot though, but he's delayed Cooler a little bit, so maybe he can go for Mega. He's not going to make a play for it. And he's being a little bit more sneaky with his totems now. He's been putting them a lot on the teleporter exit, and they've been dying most of the time. He hasn't really done any damage with it since the early parts of when he was using Galena.
Oh, this could be the game! Quite fitting almost to come down to 2 really well-placed rockets.
Yeah, super nice rockets from Cooler. Vengeur also had good rockets himself, but he doesn't have the stack to compete in that scenario. So, excellently done, Cooler. He clearly wants to take this map down and win the series still. He is not discouraged by what happened on Corrupted Keep. Oh my god!
Oh no! Uh-oh!
The timing of that, and he went for the extra jump to get on the ledge. Cooler's going to go back in with the... Oh my days, what has just happened?
My word.
That's the disasters that can happen on Awoken if you time these shots like that while a player's carrying their momentum for an item. Oh my. That's devastating.
I feel like I'm still recovering from it.
100 damage rail. He's gonna rocket jump back up. Still gotta be careful though.
Cooler missing the rail. Even now he's railable. Oh!
Chips a bit of damage, but he's a little bit late on the chase over here. Is he gonna hear where Cooler's gone? He heard the bounce pad. No rockets to go. Better control those weapons a little bit more, and Heavy's around the corner.
Fantastic rocket. Needs one more.
Oh
my god!
Vengeur, go with the machine gun. It's all you need to do. I'm on Cooler. He might tie it up in a second, but this mega health been taken by Vengeur.
Cooler's rockets the whole series.
Vengeur was just thinking that was going to be like, I don't know, a trivial frag. Like, oh, he's in the air. He can't do anything. Oh, my LG's not reaching. Oh, his rockets are smashing me. What's happening? Help, help.
It just keeps going back to the levels of optimization that Cooler definitely has on Vengeur. It's just that when the fights are happening, not necessarily so much in this map, of course. It was more on Corrupted Keep, but when the fights are happening, Vengeur, his damage... It's crazy I'm even saying this, because Cooler's rockets have been almost just as good, if not a little bit better.
Yeah. He just gets those moments of the rockets where it's just completely devastating. There's nothing you can do. He put the totem on the side, but I don't think it had effect. I don't know, he put it a little further out. Oh, Cooler. Again, had the angle, but he's just jolting his hand. Admin. Mod abuse, sorry, by Mooney. Good. It's the Cooler chair. A little bit of damage to himself then. Oh, that mid-air all of a sudden by Vengeur. He moves in with the LG. That's going to be a frag for him. And the round. You don't expect to be hit by those kind of mid-airs.
Now, don't panic, guys, but this happened in the previous map. It was 2-0, and then basically...
No, it went... Wait, did it go 2-0 or was it 1-1?
Was it 2-0 or was it 1-1? I think it was 1-1, and then the final 2 rounds that we saw Vengeur take were like...
Oh yeah, they were back-to-back then. They were back-to-back.
Yeah.
And they were super nice.
But my point is that, you know, Vengeur was a very similar spot, right, where we saw some rounds from Cooler and it's like, right, he's looking so good, it's over. Yeah. Surely it has to be. And then Vengeur kind of turned it up, man.
I was expecting the 3-0 if I'm honest, but that rail at the beginning of the last round, sending him off the map, I was like, yeah, there's a chance for Vengeur over here.
That's what we call the money shot.
Oh, I was always surprised to have been able to land that rail there. That was not piercing sight assisted. Oh my god,
excellent.
Vengeur. These rails. Look at the shot over there. He goes for the rocket instead of the rail though. You can tell what gun he likes to use the most, right?
And that would have been punishing as well, because Cooler, he'd actually, I believe it, I was observing Vengeur, but it looked like Cooler had fumbled his rocket jump. So he actually got stuck. He got stuck near the jump pad, and if he had rail, he'd have got an easy shot.
I thought Vengeur did everything right apart from the weapon switch. I think going for the rocket. I mean, that would have been glory, right? Hitting a rocket like that up the bounce pad on Cooler after what he'd previously done, that would have been enormous, but not to be. Cooler's going to control both the items, looking for some rockets, but Cooler hits a lovely shot from down below.
Wonderful recovery from Cooler. That was almost a disaster at the start of the round.
Yeah, it could completely flip on his head at the moment, so Vengeur's got to feel pretty concerned with how this is going right now. He's got Piercing Sight, he's using it nicely, but so's Cooler, hitting more direct.
And with Vengeur being so eager to go around the corner and peek that rail, walking straight into a direct.
Speaking of peak, though.
Oh yeah, good point.
Sorry, I couldn't follow through with that.
Very clever, very clever, very clever.
Yes, I appreciate it.
Here it is. He's popped it.
How's he just piloting? Cooler hears it, is like, right, I'm ready for it.
Cooler does look completely unpeakable on this map.
He hasn't been peaked once. It sounds kind of weird when you say it like this.
Not even like a speck of damage though. Which, to be fair, I think is actually leaving Vengeur in a bad spot. Like it almost feels like, seeing as Pika is doing nothing. It feels like Strog was just not the pick to take against Cooler at all. He could have gone with similar champions with a similar stack, similar hitbox.
I think we're about to see the end of this round at the moment. Cooler's actually not committing. He's giving an extra lifeline to Vengeur.
Well, there's one thing I think he's starting to really respect. It is those like defensive placements from Vengeur. So if Cooler has the lead, let's just try and maintain that, right? Let's not even give Vengeur an opening to get something going.
This is really sick dodges from Vengeur, especially the fact that he's using Piercing Sight on him. Vengeur's going to go with it again. He hits another rocket. Mega Health's going to be up. If he's got rail, oh my god, he made the jump!
He made the big plays!
That's what you got to make sometimes. He's got his back against the wall with one champion to go. Can he find him again? Oh, the direct Cooler! The shots are both connecting.
The fact no one has actually died yet is remarkable.
Oh, he's going to find him! Oh, he can't hit the rail. Vengeur's alive.
Oh, that's an increased level. Vengeur understanding that if he's going to elevate himself to get that mega, it has to be a rocket jump. He can't be stuck in the air any longer than necessary because of the rails from Cooler.
It's disgusting rockets that we're seeing as well. Like everything seems ridiculous right now. Turbocharged connections. We're lucky to be seeing the stuff we're getting today because this is top form from the players we're getting on stream.
Oh, absolutely. Really happy you picked these matches, to be honest with you. I think we got some really good
I wasn't sure. There's a lot of good games going on. I was like, I have no idea. But I thought Vengeur, Cooler, never having played competitively before, it's a possibility. Oh, Cooler kills himself. What did Vengeur have on health?
He just before he picked up the bubble, he'd picked up 30 after. He'd got 30 after the bubble, so I think it was, you know, almost non-existent.
Okay, fair enough. Well, gonna go through the teleport. He's going to meet him with one rocket. He gets pushed off the edge. Vengeur dies, and that's going to be the map to Cooler. Oh,
well,
man.
You know what? After that initial rail into ring out, Vengeur can't be mad about that. That's Awoken.
Oh, Cooler. Is he dropping like the... And I'm just beating you. I haven't played in a week, and I'm just beating you, Vengeur.
Wait.
Is there mind games going right here? Is there mind games?
Cooler just won a map and went, by the way, I haven't played in a week. Like that was basically what Cooler just did. I think that was a little BM.
I say a kind of BM. There's definitely a little mind games going. Cooler does everything on purpose. You know, he does everything on purpose. Can
you imagine being at a LAN and then when Cooler beats you, he stands up and goes, "By the way, I haven't played. Good game." Like, what do you do in that situation? Like, well, good game. Thanks for saying that.
What was the last? It was Blood Run last.
Let's have a look.
Velocity wants an invite. No bloody problem, man. I got you.
Well, either way, I think it's always actually nice to be able to finally see Awoken played again. Obviously, I know we're so used to seeing that map played in 2v2. Seeing it in duel is always a bit of a treat.
Oh, it's just one of the... Feels like one of the first times I've seen it in duel, sorry.
Discord delay for the win.
Yeah, excuse me, yeah.
No, we do that. We used to do that in TeamSpeak all the time, where you both go to talk. Obviously, you both wait, and then you both talk. Yeah. These encounters, these amazing encounters that are so regular. But anyway.
Not yet. Ready now. I love Cooler. He's my
Cooler,
favorite.
1850, not yet. Cooler, 1850, ready now.
He's the best. He is the best.
Agreed.
Okay. We're starting off the tiebreaker game, guys. Over 1,000 people. That's a record for Z Live Quake Open League coverage, 100%. And I don't think on Quake Champions we've had this many in a while either. Thank you, I guess. Well, it's you guys watching that are reaping the benefits here, because we're seeing some sick matches, right?
We are getting a really, really good series. I'm glad that it's going down to the final map. Particularly because, you know, actually the fact that Cooler is able to say, I know he mentioned in chat, he said, I think I'm playing bad because I haven't played in a week or something. The fact he's actually pulling some insane shots off still. You know, if he was rusty, his gameplay doesn't suggest that.
Got a Ranger over here.
Ooh, Keel.
Whoa, okay, he kind of like appeared late for me, but Keel at the end for Vengeur. Couple of off meta, not strictly off meta, but off like the core meta. And I like that we're seeing a little bit of different champions in this series as well. We've been seeing BJs, Pikas. What did we get from Cooler as the last pick? It was a Ranger as well. Another Ranger.
We've seen Ranger. Nice. Yeah, we saw 2 BJs on Corrupted Keep. I really like, actually, that the stage the game is kind of reaching where there's like a set champion pool where if you want to play it safe, you can kind of go to this selection. But there are champions for certain maps that are still totally viable, and you're not actually handicapping yourself by going for them. Trying to bet everything on the super shotgun, missing the shots, and Cooler just having a better weapon for the job, I think.
Well, it was so aggressive from Cooler. I don't think Vengeur was expecting him to make plays like that. Ranger is really powerful on this map because of the Dire Orb, and you can control the Heavy and the Mega off the spawn quite comfortably with, like, probably half the spawns or more you get on the map. So he's just kind of showing the power that Ranger can really have. Now it's Keel, though. He's got a feeling.
And, yeah, one of the benefits that Keel... Yeah, this could be game. Nope, never mind. Doesn't manage to get any of the... Only 1 grenade used, though, so fortunately, after that ends, he's got plenty of grenades left. Actually, fully replenished already.
I would have... When I saw the orb going up there, I would have spammed 1 or 2 just on it before he could even... slipgate through. I am actually surprised he delayed the grenades as much as he did. I think he could have got a couple of more, maybe even guaranteed them. But like I was actually saying, Keel having the benefit in duel of fresh off the spawn having all of his grenades. So I think that is, you know, sometimes underestimated how much damage he's going to get off those in a short space of time, even with starter weapons. I'm kind of surprised. Oh, I was going to say, I'm surprised at the map that Vengeur allowed us to get to. Blood Run against a CIS player. A CIS player named Cooler. No other. Ruins and Blood Covenant would have been other options, but then again, Blood Covenant again versus any old pro. I still would have fancied my chances there, but he also didn't want to risk not having to play Ruins because that's his weakest map. So, well, the situation's forced itself to Blood Run, and we're going to have to see some mad skills from Vengeur, I think, to give us the same levels of what he had on Corrupted Keep and on Awoken.
One thing Cooler's absolutely been able to do is make these grenades a non-problem, you know, so far.
Yeah.
He hasn't been hit by a single direct, and I'm pretty sure we've seen at least 15 grenades used.
Well, Vengeur's not been able to stack up very well either. He's not been able to get control of the Heavy. It's something that Keel's going to rely on a little bit, is building up that massive stack. And Cooler this time doesn't overcommit to it. You can see all the grenades that went over.
Yep. Really, really good win for Cooler. Might still go down here. But that Dire Orb getting 3 grenades out of Vengeur, he'll take that trade all day, every day. Good read.
It's a race for resources now. Mega Health's going to be up next, but a lot of the health bubbles have been taken lately. He goes to the orb. He finds a rail. He's already moved across.
Vengeur still railable. Not so much nose 105 health, but still weak. Oh my god.
I don't
Straight
know if
down to 5
spawn for a few more seconds. He's found one.
Yeah.
He melts himself with the nail gun.
He'd only been able to collect 1, so even when he went around that corner and he had 30 HP to try and take the fight.
There was just like a war of attrition going on. There was just nothing else left on the map, and Cooler had played it fantastically. He's going to find him. Orb into not much, unfortunately for him. Rocket coming out. I think he missed miss that rail? No, he hit it.
Balls out.
Oh,
He connected it. We didn't see the totem activate health though, so Vengeur is going to kind of almost get that second chance because his totem didn't give him health before he jumped down there.
The thing is, Vengeur's going to have to probably go up versus a visor next. I want to see him get the frag in the next 20 to 30 seconds to really stand a good chance.
And Cooler not shy of slowing the pace down when he knows he has to. 1 minute 15 to survive and not lose 2 champions. That's definitely possible for Cooler. Absolutely.
Oh, missed jump. He's going to go for Mega instead, which is kind of a little bit better for him. He might be able to bait on this item a little. He takes a rail. He does make the jump across, and he's starting to push now. He's found him. Got to watch out for those dire orbs around the corner. That rocket's actually helped Vengeur somehow.
Ooh. He landed on the totem, so he's going to get a little bit of health back too. But you know, Cooler, he's been looking to run away as fast as physically possible. And obviously, he's going to delay his respawn when he goes down too, just makes life all that harder.
I think he realizes that Cooler's just over there. Did he just rocket jump up to heavy? Because it's not up for a few seconds.
Yeah, he did. He's mistimed it by a significant... About 6 seconds, I think he mistimed it by.
Oh, the rocket though!
Oh!
Wow. Okay, that was a bit of a surprise. Now he's got another totem. He's going to get Mega. His stack is looking good, but he needs to find the spawn. There's going to be Visor using Piercing Sight for the next 5 seconds, I would imagine. But he's heard where he's going because totems are getting cleared out, so we're going to see a rocket jump probably somewhere.
The second he clears that teleporter. Can't physically get it.
There's not enough totems around to like help him with damage or anything like that. I mean, it was on his last legs. To make a comeback against a Visor with only 30 seconds roughly, it's not quite going to be enough.
2, 1. Round 2.
So quite an interesting start to the round, I'll be honest. I'm going to be interested again to see how much of a difference this kill pick makes. We saw some slightly more variable picks used on Awoken just now, and the entire reason Vengeur even went with Pika was irrelevant because Cooler he wasn't caught off guard by a single ability use at all. And in that previous round, Vengeur going in with Keel, Cooler played around the grenade use wonderfully as well. So I'm honestly, he's so comfortable in these matchups.
Well, Vengeur also died so early on with the Visor last time around. LG on this rocket. How? What?
Oh, God.
What?
Oh my
Vengeur.
God.
Those shots were disgusting. That was like half prediction. That was sickening. Absolutely sickening. From him, he hits the rail as he goes through. What on earth?
Well,
so my commentary consists of loud screaming and not much else. Oh, another
rail. The rail and lands the shot again. Can he get a good spawn on Galena, I wonder? Hasn't got piercing sight for a while, so.
He just heard him.
Oh,
can't push through the corner. Could be a kill for Cooler. Oh, he tries to get the rail switch.
Right. That would have been so sick.
I think the rocket would have done the job for him anyway, but you know what? Hindsight is a powerful thing.
Now, not to count Cooler out by any stretch of the imagination, but that was definitely what you call a good start.
It was an incredibly good start, and he had such momentum carry through, and he almost carried it through to the end of the round, which would have been ridiculous to see like a round like the first one, then transform into Vengeur getting the 3-0 within a minute. That would have been off the chain. Good shot, Cooler, and he's going to continue to control a bit. Vengeur lacking armor massively. But he's free to play whatever pace he likes. When you're not going up against a Visor, you can kind of set yourself up however you like. You don't have to worry about your traps not working or have a Visor with piercing sight waiting around the corner. Vengeur peeks around with just his head showing and escapes.
It's actually kind of crazy how much has happened in a short space of time. We haven't even gone 2.5 minutes in yet. And it's felt like a much longer round because of just the action alone.
There's been absolutely tons happening. Totem's going down once more. Cooler kind of half-heartedly rocket jumping. Loses faith in doing that halfway through.
And picking a wonderful place on the map to try and get the information. You know, kind of sit there and listen out for any teleporters. Unfortunately, now he's a little bit stuck.
Yeah, he's
getting rid of the totems. But that's it's like the price he pays to get rid of that totem is to give Cooler all the knowledge. Oh my God!
No, totem
that
damage.
Was, yeah, that caught him off guard so bad. And that
Cooler doesn't quite know where he is. He's going to hear him now, but it's another shot landed, and he took a risk going through that teleporter. One more totem to be had. Vengeur's in no man's land, and he's just got Keel. It was a 2-0 start. It could be a finish in favor of Cooler. Look at that. Over 300 collective health and armor.
Looking at Vengeur's general like movement language, it looked like he was quite uncomfortable. The second he ate that one totem, he looked really, really nervous about where to go next.
If that totem didn't hit, I wouldn't doubt he'd be able to slow play a little bit longer. But it was definitely the sort of moment where Cooler knew he could move in comfortably.
He was definitely not convinced it was there at all. Like, he wasn't even looking in its direction when he got hit by it. He was backing up.
Vengeur's going to need to still play this slowly. I won't be surprised if this one goes into overtime again.
Of all the champions that cannot dodge grenades, though, Galena is going to be right up there. But he needs to make sure he gets... He got to make sure he puts Cooler in a good position to take a fight. But Cooler knowing that Keel is the matchup that he's facing, I don't see him putting himself in those situations at all.
Vengeur's been able to start gathering light armors and things like that. Just quickly look at how his... Yeah, he wants to build that natural stack up even more. It's such a dangerous place to stand. I don't really like him waiting for the light armor in that spot, but he's got to feel like he's not at risk of getting pushed there, because to me it doesn't make sense to stand in a spot where if someone attacks you, you're going to take 150, 200 damage before you can move out to another room.
Now, what does make sense to me is how Vengeur is picking this play to try and make these traps. He hasn't seen Cooler. I think he has clocked him. What? He heard him?
That looked weird, because I saw him like quite clearly on my screen, but it took Cooler a second.
That's so strange. But what I do like is the placement. You know, Vengeur knows that if he has loads, he's got 15 rockets and he's got 5 grenades, right? If he catches Cooler off guard, he's dead instantly.
He wants a fight in a close quarters area. Like, you could see that he was hiding over at the staircase. If Cooler checks that bit, all of a sudden, so much damage can happen.
Yeah,
and he would like a corridor by
surprise him in unreactable places.
But also Vengeur, he's being so immobile. He doesn't know where all these totems are going. There's now 3 on the map, and I'm sure not too long there's going to be a 4th.
Also, he's been spending so much time looking for his places to hide. He hasn't got a rail currently.
What the hell? He actually made the move onto that?
Blowing his load. He has no grenades left at all.
They all go out there.
Did not mean for that to sound as bad as it did either. I mean, he just saw Cooler and just went bam, bam, bam.
Blowing his load of grenades. It's okay. That's fine.
He's fully spent.
Sounds okay.
But the fact that he spent them all and actually got nothing off it. Not a single one actually connected.
Rail. Perfect time for it. There we go. We've got fire. We've got flames. Oh, don't go through the teleporter. If he goes through the teleporter... There's 5 totems there.
I've been watching Vengeur the whole time. He's thinking about it.
There's 5 totems lurking around the teleporter exit from Rocket Room.
I'll tell you if he's going near it. But right now, he's nowhere near.
Vengeur, if you go through there, you're going to just keep hitting trouble. And
every time
we're going to see a kill. He's going to find all the grenades now. Sorry, all the totems now, surely.
That's if he turns around. He's looking at Cooler right now. No, he's going towards Rocket.
Oh, nice shot by Cooler. But Vengeur still escapes with a decent amount.
Oh my god! He almost knocked into it!
He was keep finding them. What? He's still another totem! There was so many!
So he instantly like flinched and he saw one. Jumped forward, flinched and saw another one, and then before he felt comfortable getting the 3, walked into the 4th.
That's
crazy. That was wonderful. On my screen, that was so good.
Well, that's it. He's been playing so passive. He's allowed Cooler to set up like that. That's a huge. I won't be surprised now if Vengeur's trying to slow play it again for another minute or so. Like, this duel is incredibly important. I say it specifically to Vengeur, who's trying to break out a bit, but it's not going to work from there. Cooler rushes around the corner and's got to know that he hasn't got the stack that he previously had.
And the thing is, he spent the entire sudden death looking for an advantageous position that he could really, you know, take full advantage of. He actually got what he wanted at the very end, but because he was the one that was taken by surprise, he couldn't even react, you know.
Got a drop from Vengeur. This is incredibly risky from him, but I actually really, really like the move that he made. He somehow secured both of the items against the Ranger. It wouldn't normally happen.
He's gonna get a frag on this too.
Wow, that is a super convincing first frag from Vengeur.
Perfectly played. After a round that went on for that long and you kind of just got destroyed in like, you know, the snap of a finger, you really needed to get something like that at the beginning of the next one.
Oh, the nail gun hurts a lot. He's got to give some respect. Oh, the splash just about hits, and Cooler was so weak. Vengeur's playing with fire right now, but we saw what happened before when he had a 2-champion advantage. That was actually the place there where they were last fighting, where he died. He might have this in though.
He's run out of rockets.
Oh no!
Oh my god, he ran out of rockets. He just needed one more.
Yeah, that would have been it. Actually, if he had more rockets, I have no doubt he would have been able to take that. But it could be the exact same scenario as last round. Vengeur, is he going to jump back up? Cooler's going to have timing of this. Nailgun comes out versus LG. Cooler starting to win this one. And there's a shortage of HP for Vengeur. Oh, the totem though!
Oh my god, how much health is Cooler on?
He had 5 HP after that. He's just found 3 health bubbles. So he's still around. He's got 2 totems on the map.
Vengeur just placed a totem near bottom teleporter, so Cooler's got to watch out. He's got to watch out going through that teleporter. He's nearby.
Oh, wow. Cooler. Vengeur's trying to hit clutch rails right now. And he kind of is, but Cooler's going even more clutch.
The danger is that Keel has currently been unable to really do much at all.
It's not done a lot, has it?
He's fresh off the spawn, has got 1 grenade, but again, that was a rocket. That was no direct at all of the grenades. I mean, has a grenade even hit Cooler yet?
I don't think so. Now it has.
Right, finally gets one. Finally gets one.
Reverse curse is in.
That was my plan all along, to give Vengeur an edge.
Got a rocket jump up. Vengeur, he's just made a move now for heavy. He needs something to hit, but he's going to drop down to the bottom. This could be a catastrophe for him. Cooler finds the rocket and gets the 3-0-1 blood run. So we will be seeing him play on Sunday. What a game, though, between these two.
I'm happy with that one. I think we saw a really nice, actually, I think, variety of how these guys are approaching each map for sure. Cooler, I think, was definitely the player that we assumed would move on, but there were definite moments where we felt like if Vengeur was going to win this, it wouldn't have taken us by huge surprise. You know, Cooler's the favorite to win, but Vengeur definitely played well.
Oh no, he played exceptionally. I had Cooler as taking it 2-0. I think the experience he has at the moment compared to Vengeur is just still a lot. But Vengeur was incredibly competitive. And although it was a 3-0 in Blood Run, it definitely could have gone a lot of different ways. We saw him taking advantage in the last 2 rounds. But it's just those last moments he didn't quite line up those situations properly. And, you know, Cooler's experience and level of play just carrying him through to the end. But
it's nice. It's always nice watching these guys play duel again too. Very much so, because you know we're pushing 2v2 so hard at the moment in the community, and for good reason. You know, the game mode's highly entertaining, but you know, to see Cooler on Blood Run still to this, it's still an entertaining thing to watch.
Oh no, it's amazing. A quick shout out to